चलेगा बंद में फंसना उसको Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis, please accept our humble obeisances, our worship Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Shankaran Prabhuji, welcome.
Just give me 2 minutes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes, Prabhu.
Prabhu?
I'll take just 2 minutes, Prabhu. Just 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, hope everyone is doing good in this Kartik month.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, before everyone joins, I wanted to ask a question. I know that ISKCON is having protests all over the world today. Are we doing anything?
We are working on that one, Prabhu. We are still working on that one. Yes, yeah. We also been observed and noticing it, and yeah, we'll keep you posted, Prabhu.
Okay. So are we like, is there a plan to do anything in Richmond or DC?
DC, there is a planned Prabhuji today from 1 to 3. They're meeting at 1 o'clock in Potomac Temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. Your name, Prabhu?
My name is Shobhan Nath,
You're from Richmond or?
Richmond.
Oh, Richmond. Thank you.
How much did you pour it? Oh, no.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Welcome all of you for ISKCON Richmond Kartik month 4-part series program. Shankran Prabhuji joined and he requested for a few minutes. He will be back.
Yeah, Prabhu, we're ready.
Are you back, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhu, we can get started.
Yeah. And we also welcome our special guest, His Grace Shankran Prabhuji. And we are very, very fortunate to have Prabhuji's association in this auspicious month. And as some or most of us know about Prabhuji, Prabhuji is a senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Prabhuji has been serving his Guru and Srila Prabhupada in different roles and responsibilities. Prabhuji had also served as a management leader to New Vrindavan Temple at some point of time. And there is a lot to cover. I mean, a lot of good things to cover to say about Prabhuji, but due to time constraints and our agenda for this session, making this short at this moment. And today we will be hearing part 1 of prayers to the darling of Vrindavana from His Grace Shankran Prabhuji. This is a 4-part series for all the 4 Saturdays from 10 to 11:30/12 noon. And before we hand over to Prabhuji, we request all the participants to mute your lines so that we can focus on Prabhuji's class, lecture, and important points. And there will be a question and answer session at the end of the lecture so that we can ask our questions or any doubts or clarifications with Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, all yours, Prabhuji. You can take it up from here.
Thank you very much, Shamlilari Prabhu, for allowing me to do some service to the devotees of Richmond, ISKCON Richmond. I'm actually very much indebted to all of you. So yes, Shamlilari Prabhu explained that there will be next 4 weeks we'll be discussing the prayers, especially the Damodarashtakam prayers. There are 8 stanzas in that. So since we have 4 weeks, I thought we'll have two verses every week. We'll discuss that. Or maybe, we'll see how it goes. Thinking maybe in the last week we can have the entire pastime of Damodar Leela covered, and finish on the Damodarashtakam in the next 3 sessions. So we'll see as we go forward. Om Jnanathmirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamishcha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we will, in this month, or the auspicious month of Damodar, we will begin with the discussing on the Damodarashtakam, the 8 stanzas in the beautiful prayer that we sing every day throughout the month of Damodar. So we all sing these prayers every day in the month of Damodar, especially in the morning and evening. But it's very nice to know the meaning and also how the Vaishnava Acharyas have explained this, especially Sanatana Goswami has given a very beautiful explanation. And taking that, as our basis, if we try to understand the meaning of each and every verse, it helps to actually meditate on the prayers while we sing that prayer on daily basis. So this Damodarashtakam prayer begins. Very first stanza says, Namamishwaram Satchid Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Prajama Yashodabhiyalu Kaladavamana Paramishtamatyan Tato Drutya Gopya. So, this prayer by Satyavrat Muni, he begins with Nama. Nama means I offer my Naman, my Pranam. So he's offering his obeisances, his pranams to Ishvara. Namam Ishvaram. Not any ordinary living entity, but the Ishvara. But again, when we say Ishvara, there are many Ishvaras in this creation. Like Indra is also Ishvara. He's the Ishvara of the rains. He controls the rains throughout the universe. And similarly, Surya is the Ishvara for the light, illumination and heat throughout the universe is supplied by him. Agni provides, heat in every form. Similarly, Vayu, helps everyone to breathe because there's air flowing everywhere. So living entities can breathe. So in this way, there are different Ishwaras. But Satyavrat Muni is not offering his namam, his obeisances to all these Ishwaras. Says namam Ishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam. I'm specifically offering my obeisances to Ishwara, who has a form, Rupam. He's not formless, as the impersonalists think that ultimately the Supreme is impersonal, doesn't have any form. But he has a Rupa. So to think that the Supreme Lord doesn't have a form, ultimately, is actually very childish. Sripad Shankaracharya, he has written a very beautiful prayer called Lakshmi Narsimha Karavalamba Stotram. In the very last stanza of that prayer, he says, Ye pathanti tad harija manuja hari bhakti yukta te yanti tat pada sarojam akhanda rupam. He has written many verses in that prayer of praying to Lakshmi Narsimhadev, seeking the protection. But in the very last stanza he says, anyone ye pathanti hari bhakta, the devotees of Lord Hari, and bhakti yukta, with bhakti, with devotion, if they read this stanza of Narsimha Karavalamba Stotram, what will happen? Te yanti tat pada saroja akhanda rupa. They attain the lotus feet of the Lord, tat pada. But how they attain? Not being impersonal. Akhanda rupam. They will attain a form, a rupam, which will be akhanda, which will never be destroyed. And that form is Satchidananda. So even devotees who worship the Supreme Lord, they also attain this Satchidananda rupam. But in general, everyone in this material world has a form that is combination of, as Krishna says in Gita, Bhumi apa nalo vayu kham mano buddhiyo. The combination of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So even demigods like Indra, even Brahma, they all have material form. They have form which is Asat, which is Achit, and which is Niranand. Asat, temporary. Achit is full of ignorance. And Niranand is it's source of actually all the miseries. So Satyavrat Muni is not offering his obeisances to any such Ishvara, which includes even of Lord Brahma. He's offering obeisances to Ishvara who has Satchit Ananda Rupa, who has the form which is eternal, full of knowledge and blissful. And further he describes the form. So generally we start the meditation on the form of the Lord through the feet, but here he begins with because it's a pastime in more kind of a Vatsalya Bhav. It's Lasat Kundala. He's focusing on, first and foremost thing he's focusing on Kundala. Kundala is the jewelry which is worn in the ears, But generally the ear jewelry is also called in Sanskrit as Karnaveshta. So he's not saying Karnaveshta, ear jewelry. No. Lasat, Kundala. He's wearing Kundala. Kundala means ear jewelry which has some dangling portion beneath. So Krishna has a ear jewelry which has some dangling portion, Kundala. And the kundala can have different shapes. Like nowadays, you see ladies generally wear having kundala, so they have some round shape, and that round shape has a lot of chains hanging. So that's dangling part looks very beautiful compared to just a ring or some small jewelry in the ear. But if you have something dangling down, it looks very beautiful. So Krishna is wearing kundala, lasat kundala, the golden kundalas. Krishna generally wears, the shark-shaped earrings. Makara kundala. Makara is not exactly shark, but looks like shark. If you want, you can probably Google search. You'll see how makara looks like. In many of the Indian, ancient temples, you'll find the form of makara being carved. So Krishna wears the earrings which have kundala in the shape of makara kundala. So the lasat kundalam, so he says he's wearing the beautiful ornament of golden ornament, kundala of shark-shaped earrings. Now, one thing which is actually worth meditating here is, in this world, when we wear some jewelry around our body, it is simply to look beautiful. But Krishna does not wear jewelry to look beautiful. On the contrary, jewelry looks beautiful on Krishna. Uddhava actually glorifies Krishna as Bhushana Bhushanangam. That Bhushana means ornament, and Bhushanangam, his ornament of the ornament. Krishna's limbs, when they are having different kinds of ornaments, the ornament looks actually very beautiful on the transcendental form of Krishna. So Krishna is wearing the shark-shaped earrings, kundala, makara kundala, and Krishna's body is bluish, as we'll be reading in the verses. Krishna's form is, deep blue. Atyanta nilar. His form is actually very deep blue. It's dark form, and Krishna's form is actually very shining. So kundalas actually are reflecting in the body of Krishna. Looks very beautiful. The kundala looks actually beautiful, being on the body of Krishna. So he's focusing on the face of the Lord. Lasat kundalam gokule brajamana. Now, whatever meditation he's doing, this is happening in Gokula. Brajamana means resplendent. So he's resplendent with these shark-shaped earrings in the place called Gokul. Gokule Brajamana. Now, this is also actually very significant. Krishna, his pastimes, especially in Gokul, are very charming. In fact, Brajabasis, they do not desire Krishna's association outside of Vrindavan. You see, when Krishna went to Mathura with Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj also went, and a lot of Gopas also went. Cowherd boys also went with Krishna. And then Krishna decided to stay back in Mathura. So Nanda Maharaj didn't tell him, okay, Krishna, I will also stay with you in Mathura, and we'll go together whenever you are done with your work. Nanda Maharaj could have done that, and Krishna would totally accept it. It's not that Krishna would say, no, you cannot stay here. No. But Nanda Maharaj or any of the cowherd boys or cowherd men who came from Rajbhumi, they do not desire Krishna's association outside of Vrindavan so much. They are very much attached to Krishna, and they are attached to having Krishna in Vrindavan, in Rajbhumi. And this has been explained very beautifully in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. The mood of Srimati Radhika Rani. She's telling Krishna, my dear Krishna, you are the same Krishna. I am same Srimati Radhika. And we are meeting here at Kurukshetra after a very, very long time. But I want to take you to Vrindavan. My mind is hankering to meet you in Vrindavan. And this whole Rath Yatra festival is actually nothing but expressing the immense hankering of Brajbasis to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. So all the Brajbasis, they saw Krishna in Kurukshetra, but they were not very happy seeing Krishna wearing the attire of a king, in the midst of all the chariots, rattling chariots, and the royal paraphernalia. They wanted to see Krishna in Vrindavan. So this whole Rath Yatra festival is nothing but a very sweet mood of Brajbasis trying to bring Krishna back in Vrindavan. During the Rath Yatra festival, in Jagannath Puri, one time Srivas Thakur, one of the very intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became so ecstatic, he started glorifying the Vaikuntha. He started telling, my goddess Lakshmi, and her abode, Vaikuntha, is full of so much unlimited opulences. I don't know why Krishna has to leave this opulence and go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is just an ordinary place. It has only some trees and leaves, dry leaves, grass, cows. I don't know why Krishna is leaving Vaikuntha. No, he's leaving my mistress Lakshmi Devi and goes to Vrindavan, which is such an ordinary place. And so Damodar Goswami, he explained, my dear Srivas. Actually, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard this, he started laughing. And he told Srivas Pandit, my dear Srivas, you are just like Narada Muni. The opulences of the Supreme Lord are having direct influence on you. But Saru Damodar is a devotee of Vrindavan. So Saru Damodar actually started speaking. He told, my dear Srivas, you have forgotten. Vrindavan looks like an ordinary place. But the opulence of Vrindavan, as Brahma explains in Brahma Samhita, Chinta Mani Prakara Sadmasus Kalpavich. Each and every pebble and stone in Vrindavan is actually Chintamani. Vrindavan is completely made from Chintamani gems. That means each and every pebble or stone or a brick in Vrindavan is not dead brick or dead stone. They're all living entities who are there to serve Krishna. And they are Chintamani. They can fulfill all the desires of everyone. So even if I just go to a stone in Vrindavan and tell the stone, I want this, and the stone is capable of fulfilling all my desires. Not only Krishna, each and every stone in Vrindavan is capable of fulfilling all the desires. Chintamani, Prakara Sadmasu, Kalpavriksha. And the trees there are also Kalpavrikshas. The trees can fulfill all your desires as well. So in this way, Saru Damodar Goswami actually started explaining to Srivas Thakur that, my dear Srivas, the opulence of Vrindavan is unlimited. In fact, all the opulences of Vaikunthas put together is not even a fraction of the unlimited glories and opulences of Vrindavan. So this is the glory of Raja. It's not that because Krishna lives there as a cowherd boy and it looks like a place where the cows are, in abundance. So therefore, it's like an ordinary village, smeared with cow dung, and people living there are devoid of any opulences. No. Vrindavan is the place of topmost opulences in all the material and spiritual creation. There is no comparison to the opulences of Vrindavan. So therefore, Brajavasis, they naturally have attraction towards Vraja. Not because Vrindavan is opulent, but because Vrindavan is non-different from Krishna. Brajbhumi is non-different from Krishna, and therefore, Vrindavanam parityajya pada ekam na gacchati. Krishna never steps out of Vrindavan. Krishna never even takes one single step outside of Vrindavan. He always lives in Vrindavan. I don't know how many of you actually do the deity worship, but in the deity worship, when we actually bathe Krishna, when we bathe the deity of Krishna, we bring the deity in a bowl, but in the bowl, we first invoke the presence of Vrindavan by making a yantra. It's called Golok Yantra. So you make a diagram which actually invokes the presence of Golok Vrindavan in that small pot, because Krishna will not step in the pot unless it is Golok Vrindavan. Krishna doesn't step out of Golok Vrindavan. So those who actually seriously do the deity worship, they always invoke the presence of Goloka in the yantra first, and then only bring Krishna in the pot and then bathe him nicely. So this is the glory of Braja. Gokule Brajamana. Then the third line says, Yashoda Bhiyo. So Krishna is Yashoda Bhiyo Ulukladhavamanam. First of all, he is fearful, Bhaya. Yashoda Bhiya. Bhiya means fear. So he is in fear of Mother Yashoda. What he's doing? He is Uluk Ladhavamanam. He's jumping from Uluka and running. What is Uluka? We'll try to understand. But first and foremost, he's Bhiya. He's fearful of Mother Yashoda. He's running away from Mother Yashoda, but he's fearful of Mother Yashoda. Bhiya. Now, how is it that Krishna is fearful of Mother Yashoda? In Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful word spoken by Kapila Muni. He's telling Mother Devahuti, Mad bhayat vati vatoyam surya stapati mad bhayat. Vrishtiti indro dahati agni mrityuscharati mad bhayat. He says, Mad bhayat vati vatoyam. The air is flowing, the breeze is flowing, throughout the universe out of my fear. Mad bhayat vati vatoyam. Out of my fear, the Vayu Dev is doing his job of supplying the air throughout the universe. Surya tapati madbhaya. And Surya is disseminating heat and light throughout the universe out of my fear. Surya tapati madbhaya. In Brahma Samhita also there is a verse which says, Yasya gaya brahmati samrutakal chakro. The sun is traveling throughout the universe. Unlike the modern teachings that sun is fixed in one place. Bhagavatam says, or Brahma Samhita also says, sun is always rotating throughout the universe, going around the Bhumandala. So, this sun is rotating or moving in its own orbit, Yasyagaya, by the Agya of Krishna. By the order of Krishna, the sun is traveling throughout the universe. So, Surya Stapati Madhvaya. And he says, Vrishti Vishtati Indro. Indra is sending forth the rains. Dahati Agni. Agni is burning everything. Wherever the Agni comes in contact with, it burns that down. Mrityuscharati. And the death is going around taking the toll of everyone. So Mrityu is also actually a living entity. It's actually considered one of the associates of Yamaraj. It's called Mrityu Devi. She's a female. So Mrityu Devi is going around, assisting Yamraj and killing all the people. Killing means killing their bodies, destroying the bodies. So Mrityuscharati Madhvaya. So Mrityu is going everywhere, taking toll of everyone out of my fear. So everyone in the creation is actually very much fearful of the Supreme Lord. Even the controllers of death, they are fearful of Krishna. They do their duty in accordance of Krishna's order. And yet, the same Supreme Lord is fearful of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Bhiyo. How is it that Krishna is very much afraid of Mother Yashoda? Because Krishna is very much conquered by the love of his devotees. And this is nothing but a Leela. Leela means Krishna is completely absorbed in thinking of Mother Yashoda as his mother. And Mother Yashoda is completely absorbed in thinking Krishna to be her son. We're not doing some drama, like, sometimes we do some stage drama. No. We should not think Leela to be like a stage drama. No. It is actually the complete absorption in that move and having loving reciprocation. When we do drama on the stage, even if there is husband and wife or son and mother, they apparently try to be looking like doing some reciprocation, but that reciprocation doesn't come. They are simply doing drama. They are just repeating their script and dialogues. So there is many times lack of emotion and internal happiness. But that is not the case in the Leela. When Krishna is doing Leela with his devotees, there is a complete absorption. Krishna is forgetful of his identity as the Supreme Lord. And the devotees are completely forgetful of their identity as subservient to Krishna. And that forgetfulness is caused by Krishna's will through Yogamaya potency. So therefore, Krishna is actually fearful. He is actually very much afraid of Mother Yashoda. In fact, Vishnu Chandra Thakur says, if somebody reading this statement from Bhagavatams that Krishna is afraid of Mother Yashoda thinks, oh, this is just like a stage drama, that person is lacking in understanding what really Leela is. Because Krishna is actually fearful of Mother Yashoda. How fearful he is, it will come in the next verse, but he's very fearful of Mother Yashoda. And out of that fear, what he's doing? Uluk la dhavamana. Dhavamana. Dhavamana means running. So he is running by jumping from Uluka. Uluka is the wooden grinding mortar. Nowadays, of course, everyone uses the mixie, the grinding mixie for grinding anything that you want to. But, and that's quicker, of course, but in bygone ages, especially in the ancient times, everything was done with the hand. So even grinding the spices was done by firstly with the hand, grinding the spices. I'm sure everyone has that small mortar in the home where they try to, sometimes crush some things, crack some spices or something like that. But in ancient time, they used to have the big one, the wooden one. It will have a very wide base, and then it will go thinner in the middle, and again the wider mouth. So the whole Uluka was designed in such a way that, because when you're grinding the spices, I have personally experienced when even sometimes you're grinding the almonds in that small mortar, or even the black pepper, when you're grinding that, crushing it, it tends to come out, jumps out, when you're cracking, when you're hitting with the mortar. So therefore, it was designed in such a way that it's very narrow at the center, only the mortar can go inside. So even when you are crushing it, the spices, they don't come out. You don't have to, really put your hand or cover anything. It is designed in a very scientific way. So it's generally made from wooden. So that's called uluka. So Krishna was sitting on that uluka upside down. It was kept. The wooden base was on the top and the mouth was down. Krishna was sitting on top of it. He actually climbed on it to take the butter from the ceilings. The butter was kept hanging in the ceilings in the earthen pots. So Krishna climbed on the uluka, on the wooden grinding mortar, to take out that butter. And then he sat down on that grinding mortar and distributing butter to monkeys and also eating himself. But he was conscious of his mischievous behavior, so he's, looking this way, that way. When he saw Mother Yashoda coming with a stick from behind, he jumped from that uluka. And Dhavaman, we started running. So Krishna is running in fear of Mother Yashoda. But the next line is very interesting. He says, Parahamrishtam, but he's caught from behind. Parahamrishtam, he's caught from behind. And caught by whom? Atyant tato drutya gopya. By a gopi who was atyant tato druta. Druta means faster. So Mother Yashoda was approaching him from behind by running faster than Krishna. Now, in Ishopanishad, Mantra 4, it is said that Supreme Lord, although he is fixed in his own abode, is swifter than the mind and can overcome all other runnings. That means nobody can run faster than the Supreme Lord. Even our mind cannot run faster than him. Like I'm sitting here in, city of Sacramento. The moment I think I am in Richmond, within a mind, I'm in the Richmond. Even the flight, even the fastest flight that the President of the United States uses takes 3 hours from East Coast to West Coast. Takes 3 hours. It's almost like 800-900 miles per hour speed. Takes 3 hours to reach from East Coast to West Coast. But my mind, within a mind, less than a fraction of a moment, I think not only Richmond, I can think I'm in India, which takes 20 hours for us to reach through the flight. Within a moment, I'm in India. If I think I'm in the moon, if I know the description of moon, how the moon looks like, and if within a mind I think I'm on the moon, within a moment, I am on the moon, which is 1.6 million miles from Earth. So just imagine how swifter is the mind. But Krishna, he can move faster than even the mind. Even the powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place, he controls those who supply air and rain. This is what Upanishad says. So nobody can be swifter or faster than Krishna. But here we see Atyanta Tato Dhrita Gopya. The gopi is running faster than Krishna. Mother Yashoda is running faster than Krishna. In Brahma Samhita, there is a beautiful verse. It says, Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavana sopyastiyat prapatasin avichintya tattve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. It says, Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo. Koti shata. If somebody travels, with the speed of vayu, that is air, or manasa, with the speed of mind, for koti shatavatsara, for hundreds and crores. Koti means crores. So you can say 10 million is koti. Hundreds and crores of years. Vatsara is a year. Vatsara generally means the Jupiter, transits from one sign to another sign. That's called Vatsara, Samvatsara. So, Shatavatsara, Koti Shatavatsara. Now, if somebody is traveling with the speed of mind for hundreds and crores of years, still, so piyasti yat prapatasim avichintya tattve. He will not be able to reach even the toenail of Krishna's. That much closeness one cannot even attain, even if one keeps traveling with that speed. Somebody is so expert that he can travel that way, still he cannot attain Krishna. The yogis actually, they try to meditate on Paramatma form of Krishna. But it's so difficult for them. They keep trying with their mind, even to keep Krishna's lotus feet or the toenail of Krishna's feet within their mind for more than a fraction. It's so difficult. Therefore, yogis practice for hundreds and thousands of years. So the point is, nobody can be swifter than Krishna. But here it says, Gopi, Mother Yashoda, she is running faster than Krishna. How is it? Because by the dint of devotion, a devotee can easily overcome. He can conquer Ajita. Ajita Jitospi, Taistrilokyam. Even an unconquerable Lord. Ajita means unconquerable. Even Ajita can be Jita, can be conquered simply by devotion. It's actually a wonderful contrast. Mother Yashoda is able to catch Krishna, even though Mother Yashoda, is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. She had, heavy hips, heavy thighs, and, she was not very, she was actually perspiring when she was running behind Krishna. She couldn't run very fast. And yet she could catch Krishna. And in contrast to that, when Kalyavan, Kalyavan was a demoniac king who attacked Mathura. When he was running behind Krishna, he was running with all his might, with a great speed. And Krishna was swiftly walking. Krishna was not running. He was simply swiftly walking. And Kalyavan was running behind Krishna. And he was thinking, I'll catch Krishna right now. I'll catch Krishna now. But he could never catch Krishna. He never was able to catch Krishna. And here Mother Yashoda, simply being ordinary, not ordinary, looking like an ordinary gopi, a cowherd woman, can run behind Krishna and easily catch him. So this is the glory of the devotion of Mother Yashoda, that she can run behind Krishna, and not only run, but she can paramrishtam, she can catch Krishna by running, which even yogis cannot catch within their mind by meditating for millions and millions of years. So this is the beautiful stanza, the very first verse from Damodarashtakam. Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasat Kundalango Kule Prajama Yashodabhiyoluka Ladamamanam Paramrishtamatyan Tato Dhrutyakotya. So next time when we sing this, we can actually meditate on this beautiful meaning of each and every word. So the second verse is Rudantam muhur netra yugamam rejantam karambhoja yugmena satanka netram muhushwasakam patri rekanka kantham sitagraivam damodaram bhakti bhada. So Satyavrat Muni is describing the pastime further now. In the first verse, he was explaining how Krishna is wearing kundala and running from the wooden grinding mortar, and Mother Yashoda catches him from there. So after catching, what happens? Rudantam muhur. When Mother Yashoda caught Krishna, what he's doing? Rudantam, he is crying. Having caught, he was sobbing. Rudantam, he is sobbing, and Muhur Netra Yugmam Mrijantam. The word Mrijantam, Mrijantam means rubbing like this. Children sometimes, when their eyes are filled with tears, they rub their eyes like this. So he's Rudantam, he's crying. And he's rubbing his Netra Yugmam. It's not just one Netra Yugmam, a pair. Yugam means pair. So the two eyes, Muhur means again and again he's rubbing his two eyes with his two lotus hands. Kara Ambujena, with his two lotus hands. He's actually rubbing his eye. So Netra Yugmam, the two netras, the two eyes, are being rubbed by Kara Ambuja Yugmena, the two hands, his two lotus hands. But the hands are not just Kara. Kara means hands, but Kara Ambuja. Krishna's hands are also described here as lotus hands. And this is actually very interesting. Sa Atanka Netra. So Satyavrat Muni is going into the details of the pastime in this verse, describing, that Krishna is crying. Generally, crying is done. It's actually interesting. Krishna is crying because Mother Yashoda is holding the stick, and upon him, she has caught him. So he's crying. Crying is generally done to invoke the compassion. You see, whenever there is a fight between husband and wife, okay, so they are both fighting, maybe sometimes screaming or yelling at each other. But the moment a woman starts crying, what happens? The man is defeated. No matter whether she's wrong or right, he forgets everything and tries to console her, right? So this is considered like a weapon, especially in the husband-wife quarrel. The wife has the weapon of crying. If she starts crying, a gentle husband, especially if the husband is gentleman, he forgets all the differences and tries to console. So it invokes compassion. Crying generally invokes compassion. When Bhumi goes to Lord Brahma, she also goes with tears in her eyes to invoke the compassion. Srila Prabhupada actually writes in Krishna book, Bhumi Devi approached Brahma with tears in her eyes to invoke the compassion. So tears generally are to invoke the compassion. Please be merciful to me. So Krishna is also having tears. Again and again he's rubbing his eyes with his two lotus hands. And Sa Atanka Netram, his eyes are full of terror. He is not just Bhiya, as we discussed in the previous words. His eyes are full of terror. He's seeing Yashoda with the stick. The child is terrified. Sa Atanka, like, the word we, in Hindi, they generally say Atankavadi. Atankavadi means the person who believes in the philosophy of creating terror in everyone. Vada means philosophy generally. So Atankavadi means a person who believes in the philosophy of terrorizing everyone. We have a lot of, not only nowadays people think, oh, these are big terrorists, blowing some building or, blowing some bombs in some public places. But we had, a lot of big terrorists in the past who could blow away the whole planet, like Hiranyaksha. He was such a terrorist. He blew away the whole planet. The planet, sank into the Garbhodaka ocean. Whole Bhum, whole Prithvi actually fell into the Garbhodaka ocean. And Lord Varad had to come to lift it. So they have been big terrorists, but Krishna's eyes are full of terror. He's fearful, so fearful of Mother Yashoda. How do we understand this? So Krishna, although he's the Supreme Lord, but in the association of devotees, he simply forgets himself and behaves just like the devotees want him, and simply to give pleasure to the Lord. The beautiful prayer, Vrajaraj Sutashtakam, in that it says, Krishna does everything to give pleasure to his devotees. Especially, even dressing, for example. Brajabasi manohara veshakaram. It says, Krishna even dresses himself to attract the minds of Brajabasis, to give pleasure to Brajabasis. He dresses himself also nicely, simply for that purpose. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his famous song, Gopinath song, he says, my dear Lord, Gopinath, Jivera Karane, Asya Prapanch Leela Koile Subistar. You have expanded your pastimes in the material world also. Krishna is doing his pastimes in the spiritual world, but he expands his pastimes in the material world also only with one intention, Jivera Karane, simply to deliver the living entities, to attract the heart of living entities. Krishna expands his pastimes even in the material world. So Krishna does everything simply to give pleasure to his devotees. And not only devotees, to even attract the hearts of conditioned souls. One time, Krishna, he started telling Mother Yashoda that, because Mother Yashoda, she used to threaten Krishna many times. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam, sometime when Krishna and Balaram are playing in the field, in the street with the cowherd boys. So it'll be time for the lunch or evening meal. Mother Yashoda would send the Rohini to go and call Krishna and Balaram for the meal. And Rohini would go and call. And Krishna and Balaram would not listen. They would just continue to play. Like the children, they don't want to listen to their parents. They want to continue playing. So they continue to play. Then Rohini would go back and she would tell Yashoda, they're not coming. So Yashoda would go. And with so much love, Mother Yashoda would start calling, Krishna, my dear son, Balaram, oh you, the glory of your family, please come back. My dear Sankarshan, please bring your younger brother Krishna. Nanda Maharaj is waiting for both of you. Please come and take your meal. So Krishna Balaram, because they were called by Mother Yashoda with so much love, they would start walking away. And the cowherd boys would say, oh, Krishna, you are going away? When we're just about to win the game, you're leaving the game in between, you're afraid of losing. So from next time, we'll never play with you. So Krishna would feel scared. Oh, my friends will not play with me. Then he would forget Mother Yashoda. He would just continue. Oh, no, I'll continue to play. So when Mother Yashoda would see this, she would start scolding the children. She would start scolding the other children that, oh, you don't have any home? You don't want to go home and eat? Are you like the vagabond children? Go home. Come, Krishna, you also have to take bath. You and Balaram have to take bath and have to take meals. And sometime when Krishna would still not listen, Mother Yashoda say, Krishna, Balaram, come back immediately. Otherwise, how Balaram will come and eat you? So Mother Yashoda, outside the palace of Nanda Maharaj, she had made two big statues of lions, lion-looking, lion-like figures. And she used to call them How Balau. All mothers have some technique of scaring their children, so that they comply sometimes. I remember when we used to live in New Vrindavan, there was a Prabhupada disciple who used to live next door. His name was Muktakeshwar. He was very strong looking, hefty person, and his voice was very, like thundering of, clouds. That's how his voice was. So sometime he would come and knock at the door and say, he would ask my wife, Mata, Do you have something to eat? And we had our son, Premanand, that time he was very small. As soon as he heard his voice, Mata, he would start crying and, be scared. So my wife had made it a figure, whenever Premanand would not eat, she would say, eat, otherwise this Buddha Baba, the neighbor Buddha Baba will come. So he was afraid of Buddha Baba. He would just eat whatever. Similarly, Mother Yashoda had, this scary figure statues made. She used to call them Haubalau. So, in fact, if you go to Nandagram now also, you will find the two lion-like statues outside the palace of Nanda Maharaj, in Nandagram. So, Mother Yashoda would scare Krishna. Krishna, Haubalau will come, and Krishna would actually run. So one day, Krishna is telling Mother Yashoda, Mother, what you scare me of this Haubalau? I'm not scared of your Haubalau. He was standing beside Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda was sitting next to him and he was standing. And he said, Mother, why you scare me of Haubalau? I'm not scared of Haubalau. You don't know I am Narsimhadev. I appeared as half man, half lion, and I killed the demon Hiranyakashipu. And Mother Yashoda said, oh, really? Not only that, before that I appeared as Varahadev and I killed the demon Hiranyaksha. And she said, oh, really? Yeah. And I also appeared as Ram and I killed the 10-headed demon Ravana. And Mother Yashoda says, oh, really? And that very moment, a cat came from behind Krishna and said, meow. And Krishna got so scared, he jumped in the lap of Mother Yashoda. He embraced her. And Mother Yashoda said, Krishna, what happened? You are Narsimhadev, right? You killed Hiranyakashipu. You are Varahadev, you killed Hiranyaksha. You are Ram, you killed Ravan. What happened? You are scared of this cat? And Krishna was hiding his face in Mother Yashoda's lap. So, Krishna's times are so much filled with charm, simply to charm the hearts of his devotees. So, even here, when he sees Mother Yashoda with a stick, his eyes are full of terror. Sa atanka netra. And then says, Muhu Shwasa Kampa Trilekhanka Kantha. Muhu means again and again. What is doing again and again? Shwasa Kampa. Shwasa means breathing. His breathing is heavy. The children, when they're crying, they do like this. They take, deep breath, like crying when they're crying. So he's again and again taking deep breath. So what is happening? Because of his breathing like this, Kampa, something is trembling. What is trembling? Trerekanka Kantha Sthita Graiva. Tri Rekha. Tri Rekha means 3 lines. 3 means 3 and Rekha means lines. So Tri Rekha Anka, the mark of 3 lines on Kantha, the neck of Krishna. So it's a beautiful meditation. It says, when Krishna is breathing like this, so what is happening is his neck is, which is having the 3 marks of 3 lines. Generally, a conch shell, when you blow a conch shell, the conch shell has 3 lines. So Krishna's neck is also marked with exactly similar 3 lines. If you take a conch shell, blowing conch shell, you will see, especially a bigger conch shell, it always has 3 lines. It's a wonder of nature. Every conch shell has 3 lines in it. The blowing conch shell especially. So Krishna's neck is also exactly like the 3 marks of conch shell. Tri Rekhanka Anka Kantha. So in the Kantha, in the neck, there is Sthita, situated. What is situated? Graivam, a jewelry, a necklace. So the necklace is, which is situated on the neck of Krishna, which is marked with 3 lines, like a conch shell, is Kampa, is shaking. So just imagine Krishna is this. So the necklace which is situated on his neck is shaking. Muhu Shwasa Kampa Trirekanka Kantha Sthita Graivam. So this beautiful meditation of how the necklace is shaking because of Krishna's breathing is being meditated by Satyavrat. Damodara Bhakti Bada. Damodara, the Lord whose belly is bound with rope. That Lord, Bhakti Badam, but he's not bound by ordinary rope. He is bound by bhakti, by devotional service. So Krishna, he's being bound by Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is trying to bind him, but the rope is falling 2 fingers too short. But because Krishna saw, it is described in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada says, when Krishna saw that Mother Yashoda was so fatigued, she was perspiring and laughing as well. So Krishna, seeing the devotion of his mother, agreed to be bound. Otherwise, Mother Yashoda was not able to bind him. So the purport of these words is that Krishna is actually always bound by his devotees' love. You see, this whole pastime actually of Damodar Leela is also indicating how Krishna was eager to fulfill the words of his devotee Narada Muni. Narada Muni, he had cursed the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera. Why did he curse them? Because they misbehaved. They were standing naked in front of him in a completely intoxicated state. So Narada Muni cursed them out of his compassion, that they should become trees, but they should remember everything, whatever they have done, why they have become trees. They should remember this. And then Krishna would give his mercy to them. So because Narada Muni desired that these 2 brothers should receive Krishna's mercy, Krishna was obliged to. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. He is always obliged to fulfill the desire of his devotees. In fact, Krishna's desires, his own desires, Krishna can let it go. Krishna can neglect his own desires, but he will always fulfill the desires of his devotees. So, because it was the desire of Narada Muni that these 2 brothers should be delivered by Krishna, Krishna agreed. Otherwise, Krishna was thinking, I have nothing to do with these 2 sons of Kuvera. They were all, they were sense gratifiers. They were addicted to drinking, drinking and woman hunting. They were woman hunters. They were, they were enjoying with the ladies, heavenly ladies, naked in the Ganga, in the. So Krishna had actually nothing to do with such sense gratifiers. But because it was the desire of Narada Muni, therefore Krishna agreed. He agreed to deliver these 2 brothers. So Bhakti Badam, Krishna is always bound by his devotees' love. In fact, Vishwanath Thakur, he beautifully comments on saying that love is one such element. Krishna is generally Ajita, he cannot be conquered, but love is one element that controls and binds Krishna. Krishna is controlled by the love of his devotees. Krishna is supreme controller. He is supreme God. Nobody can really control him. But he is controlled by the love of his devotees. In fact, we understand that Krishna, there is nothing which is outside of control of Krishna. But this tendency of living entity to love Krishna is something that Krishna cannot control. Krishna cannot tell the living entities, don't love me. In fact, Krishna comes under control of such love. Not only he has no control over the love of his devotee, but he comes under the control of that love. And that's not a flaw in Krishna. That's actually a beautiful ornament in Krishna's character, that he's controlled by the love of his devotees. So in this way, these two verses, Satyavrat Muni is beautifully meditating on the pastime of Damodar Leela. So I think we can, if anyone has any questions, you may ask now.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a nice, and when you were giving the class, I was assuming, of course, the assumption is wrong, but with my zero knowledge or limited knowledge, I should not assume, but it's very touching, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very beautiful. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful class. Now, I would like to request all the devotees, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask any questions to Prabhuji. Anyone has any questions?
Okay. If no question, then we can.
Hare Krishna,
can
Prabhuji. Pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for full explanation. In the first stanza where we are speaking about the whipping stick, sorry, in the second stanza, just wanted to know the significance of that by our senior parampara and Guru Acharyas.
Well, the verse actually says that Krishna was afraid, but there's no mention of whipping stick. But we understand that Mother Yashoda was actually holding a whipping stick. So she was approaching Krishna with a whipping stick. So that is, of course, maybe a little difficult for people in this part of the world, but it's very common in India, right? Children are shown the stick. I remember even our school teachers used to show the stick. They had whipping stick in their hand. And if sometime you misbehaved, you have to spread your hand and they would beat on the hand, right? So whipping stick is something that is generally to discipline the children. Even we find in Bhagavatam, right? When Prahlad is kind of not complying with the Shanda and Amarga, they say, oh, bring me a whipping stick. This Prahlad is disobedient, right? So whipping stick, which is very commonly used by the parents or teachers, especially in India. For nowadays, the so-called, of course, there are two sides to it. Sometimes people, they really, because of the Kali Yuga, people are so uncultured that sometimes they end up in being brutal to children. Of course, that was never the case in ancient times. Parents or teachers, they would always have love and affection for children, and they would sometimes, out of need for disciplining the children, they would pick up a stick to discipline them. But because people are becoming more and more devoid of sensibility in Kali Yuga, they're becoming more and more uncultured, indecent, and brutal. So they end up in sometimes even harming the children. Children should never be, beaten brutally. Sometimes, the parents spanking the children out of love for correcting the children, it's understandable. Because if that is not there, then it's very difficult to even discipline the children. If the children have no fear, anyone who has no fear, and whimsical in behavior, could actually be very harmful for the person. So therefore Chanakya Pandit says, the children should be disciplined for 10 years. From the age of 6 to 15, the children should be disciplined. That means show them stick if it's required to. so that they grow up to be responsible citizens. The citizens who have no fear, from childhood, they tend to become very, what do you call it, unrestrained, uncontrolled, and uncivilized at times. So parents used to always, Prabhupada actually gives a name. Not Prabhupada. Was it Prabhupada? No. I think some devotee was giving example that that one time one thief was brought to the court, and he had done a lot of theft and even killing to people, different kinds of crimes he had done. So everything was proved, and the judge asked the culprit that, do you have anything to say in your defense? He said, yes, I want to bring my mother, in the court. So they brought the mother of the culprit in the court. He said, I want to say something to my mother, in the ears. He said, all right. So he went near the ears and he very, tightly bit the mother on the ears. The mother was crying, and so they separated him. They said, the judge asked him, why did you do this? Why did you hurt your own mother? He said, if my mother would have punished me in the first time when I did childhood, the theft, I would not be what I am today. No. She never punished me. She never corrected me. So the fact is, when the children are corrected, they learn to be responsible citizens. So Mother Yashoda, she was feeling that Krishna has stolen. Stealing is not at all good. If I let him go, without any fear, so today he has stolen a little butter, tomorrow he will go and, do some big thief, theft, he will become a dacoit. That is a thinking of Mother Yashoda. She's thinking he needs to be properly punished and disciplined, that he cannot do such things. Therefore, she's picking up a stick to threaten him, that if you do such a thing again, you are in trouble. So that's the significance of stick, that Mother Yashoda is thinking my child should not become, uncivilized or become a thief or a rogue in the future. He should, be disciplined. It's actually interesting when that pastime of Shamantaka jewel happened, So all the people who were talking about Krishna, that, maybe Krishna has stolen that Shamantaka jewel. So Balaram also started saying, oh, in the child who used to steal butter, now it's not a big deal. If he might have stolen that Shamantaka jewel. So Krishna was kind of, surprised that, oh, even Balaram think that I've stolen the Shamantaka jewel because I used to steal butter in the childhood. So, but the fact is, the parents, they always have to correct their children. And of course, according to time, place, and circumstances, we have to follow the rules. So rule of the country or the land. But the whole idea of having a stick in the hand is correcting Krishna, that he should not become an unrestrained child. Hope that makes sense. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Anyone else
So
have any questions? Any more questions from anyone?
Okay. So I think if no more questions, then we can stop here for today's session, and we can move to the next part of the program. I don't know what is your next part. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much, Shankaran Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. For participants, we still have 3 more sessions on this is a 4-part series. Today is the first part of the 4 series. It's been just completed, and we still have 3 more parts. Next Saturday, EST starts from 10 a.m. EST. Please join with us. Class from Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.